This bright pink building you're going to see is known as the Pink House in Mississippi. It was the only healthcare facility in the state that provided abortions until today. The Pink House, more formally known as the Jackson Women's Health, was the clinic at the center of the Supreme Court case that allowed this conservative court to overturn Roe and Casey. Busier than ever this week with streams of cars with license plates from Texas, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Arkansas pulling up with patients. Jackson Women's Health performed its last abortion procedure before the end of the day yesterday, and then it closed its doors for the last time. Abortion rights advocates posted signs on the property's fencing. They said things like, "We will always fight for health care, and this is not the end. We have hope. We have each other." The Pink House tried to put up one more fight this week to prevent the state's trigger law from shuttering its doors, but it lost that battle on Tuesday when a judge denied the clinic's request to temporarily block the trigger ban from taking effect today. Most abortions are now outlawed in Mississippi effective today, so clinic workers began packing up the Pink House. Abortion laws in flux all over this country, with more than a dozen states now subject to trigger bans. Now, these laws are changing so much, so fast, you can literally track the daily changes on the New York Times state by state like you would track viral COVID trends. But it's important to remember the reason these laws are in flux is because of a sentiment written on those posters outside of the Pink House today. People refuse to believe this is the end. They have enduring hope that it will not allow them to give in to these extreme anti-health care laws. And they're putting in the work every single day to fight back. Today, the only remaining abortion provider in North Dakota, Red River Women's Clinic in Fargo, filed a lawsuit in state court seeking to block enforcement of North Dakota's trigger ban, which would prohibit nearly all abortions in the state now that we're in a post-Roe world. That ban is currently set to take effect on July 28th. There are a bunch of other abortion providers fighting in court, filing lawsuits in states across the country, including Ohio, Oklahoma, Florida, Idaho, Texas, West Virginia. Some of those lawsuits, one in Kentucky, another in Louisiana, have actually successfully gotten injunctions or temporary restraining orders allowing abortions to continue there for now. And some state elected officials are fighting back, too. This week, Colorado Governor Jared Polis signed an executive order to protect reproductive rights in his state. Polis says he will, quote, decline requests for the arrest, surrender, or extradition of any person charged with a criminal violation of a law of another state, where the charge involves providing or assisting reproductive health care. In North Carolina yesterday, the governor also signed an executive order protecting abortion rights in the state. Not only are some elected officials making sure that the will of the people is heard in their state, the people are gearing up to take the fight for reproductive rights head on at the ballot box. According to a Washington Post analysis, quote, voters in as many as 8 states will vote on abortion this year. 2 additional states have been trying to add abortion policies to their ballots, and they're up against a hard deadline to collect the necessary signatures to get it. Michigan has until Monday to gather 425,000 signatures, but they've already got nearly twice that. Organizers there report about 800,000 signatures, and barring any unforeseen issues, abortion will be on the ballot in Michigan in November, which means voters will have a chance at a state constitutional amendment ensuring reproductive rights. In Arizona, today was the deadline. The group spearheading the effort, Arizonans for Reproductive Freedom, needed 356,000 signatures today to put abortion access on the ballot and to make it part of the state constitution. Ultimately, they fell short of the goal for this year, but they did collect more than 175,000 signatures, an incredible feat considering the campaign started 61 days ago. And now, with their sights set on 2024, they say not to count them out just yet. Campaign treasurer Shasta McManus had this to say on the matter, quote, I am confident that we will succeed in bringing this to voters in 2024. This campaign will not stop until abortions are once again legal and accessible across Arizona.